Alrighty. We are recording, so thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight. We have our lovely FDR Aspen with us, and I'm really excited for what she's about to share with us and just pour into us. I know a lot of you were at conference, so woo-hoo. I know Leslie's on here from Australia. She's still traveling home, and she left on Sunday or yesterday, like at, what did you leave at, like 2 p.m. or something? Still traveling. So that's like over 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait, it's 10 p.m. So
Yeah.
you've been traveling for almost 30, 32 hours back home?
And it's now Tuesday. It's Tuesday lunchtime. It's Tuesday, isn't it? Yep, Tuesday at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh my gosh, so crazy. Well, I know it's life-changing for you, so that's all that matters. And we'll come to Australia and visit you. How about that?
Yes, invite us, Leslie.
And I'm in my Uber on my way home. Say hi to my Uber driver.
Hi,
Uber driver.
Sorry. I'll mute myself now. Sorry.
No, you're good, girl. All right. So, first of all, we will keep this to a time limit. So, first of all, just tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you joined us this past year, which is really exciting. So, just tell us a little bit about you and where you will be going.
Yeah, well, like she said, I'm from Nebraska, born and raised here. I lived in Mexico for about 6 months in college because I was studying to be a Spanish teacher. So I was an exchange student there and attended the university, which was wonderful. But that brought us back here to Nebraska. I've been married 17 years and we've got 5 kids. You probably heard me say, if you were at conference, I've got 4 boys that are 16, 14, 12, and 10. And then I do have a daughter that's 2. So the boys are entertaining her right now while my husband's out plowing snow because we own a snow removal company. And so that keeps him busy in the winter. So we kind of juggle it all. And I had been a high school Spanish teacher. And I only taught for a couple years before we had our first baby. And so then I quit my job to stay home and did odd jobs, had a daycare, had a cleaning business, because we weren't in a financial situation at that point in our early 20s where, my husband had a good job working for his family company at the time, but it wasn't a job that could afford us, to be able to have me be home and buy what we wanted for our kiddos. And so I did extra things. And so when I was introduced to this industry, by the time I had kind of done these, daycare and cleaning business for a few years, we had 3 boys by that point. Because we had Logan, and then 2 years later, Mason, and then 18 months later, Parker. So within 3.5 years, we already had 3 boys. And we were kind of going, all right, well, let's keep going and see what's going to happen with our careers or our life. And so I was cleaning houses and taking the boys with me, and it was just stressful and a little crazy, but I was so thankful that the Lord had provided a way for me to be home, and at the time it was scrubbing toilets and cleaning houses. And so I tease people all the time that, even if there's things about it works that aren't your personality or that stretch you outside your comfort zone, you need to do those things because there's a lot of things we do in life that aren't our personality, okay? People that clean porta potties make a good living, and I'm sure they don't enjoy sucking all the gunk out of there into a big truck, okay? It's not their personality, but you do what you got to do, and that's what I did to be home with those little boys who I loved so much. So I was really open to the idea of network marketing, but I definitely wasn't looking. When a girl at church brought it up to me and kind of shared that she had just started with a new company. She really didn't know how to do it or what she was going to do with it, but that there were people who lived in the middle of nowhere, Nebraska, making good money with it. I was like, I'm in. What are we selling? What are we doing? How do we do it? And so I learned off the cuff. My distributor kit came in the mail and it had a little workbook in it that told me what to do. And I just followed that workbook. And within a year, I was ambassador. So just by following the steps in a little workbook. And it doesn't mean that there weren't hiccups. There was a lot of personal growth, lots and lots of personal growth, lots of times when I didn't feel like doing it, lots of times when I didn't want to. But I grew through that. So I've actually been a distributor in more than one company before. And that was just my first experience there. But so I was in the industry as a distributor for many years before I was out for a chunk of time. We had another son, and then 8 years after Owen was born, we had our daughter Hazel. And opportunity came knocking a year ago from It Works, asking if I would take a look at a corporate position in field development. So the interview process started, and I obviously am here. So that's the quick version of who I am. Some of you may have heard the longer version before, but that's the quick version.
That's awesome. That's so cool, like how everybody has like a different journey, and you came from a different background, and it doesn't matter what background you are from. Anybody with any background is welcome in this business, and you proved everybody wrong that you were able to get to ambassador, and then now you're on the corporate team. So it's so awesome. So as everyone knows, that everyone's on this call because you are either going Emerald or you're helping others go Emerald. And so we really just want to talk to you for the rest of this time. Kind of what are the steps, especially let's start out, what would you say to the person that has just started like within the past few days? So I know we have some newbies on here, or newbies that will be watching this. What would you say to those people to go run and get their $5,000 bonus?
Yeah, and a lot of this is going to carry over to anybody. The big key with this business is being very intentional and specific with your time. Some people say income producing activities. I sometimes say high payoff activities. So whether you're new or whether you're existing, you're going to need to know that you need to get intentional. Okay. Intentional, basically what I mean when I say that is, and I'm talking to myself too, because even though I'm not running for a bonus, I do have a lot of responsibility, on a daily basis. And with 5 kids, and we own a company now, and some of these things, I have to get up every day. And I can very easily get to 9 o'clock at night and go, well, I did a lot today, but I had these 5 key things or 7 key things that were the most high payoff, most important activities that I haven't even started. And so that's what I mean when I say be intentional, is what do you got to do to be able to get this bonus? Well, you're going to need to have, like, if you're new, or if you've been in for a while, but people aren't working, or maybe they're not ready to run, you need to have 2 people ready to go Ruby. Okay. Most likely you're going to have 2 people that want to actually go Emerald because they're going to run for this bonus, but we got to have the people. Now, some of you are going to be able to go shake awake some of the people who are dead on your team. This might ignite a fire in some people that have been kind of hanging out. Maybe the Go bonus, the Diamond bonus, some of those were a little too big, but maybe they can handle thinking about Emerald. Okay. But you're not going to spend tons and tons of time. Yeah, if you've been in for a little bit, you're going to make a list of everybody that's ever existed on your team that hasn't gone Emerald. And you're going to say, send them a message or a phone call or a voice message would be the best thing to do. Get your voice out there somehow. Say, I don't know if you've seen or not, but we just launched one of the most doable bonuses I've ever seen in the industry. Holy smokes. When can you chat about it for a second? I want you to take a look at it, because we love people where they're at. We love people where you're at. Can you guys hear me okay? Someone just put in the chat they couldn't hear very well. Can everyone else hear okay?
Yeah, I can hear perfect.
Okay, just making sure it wasn't anything I could fix on my end. So that would be one of the things, is identifying who you have that might want to run for it. But you're not going to have a ton of time, especially if you're existing distributor, to shake them awake. You got to put it out there, let them know you're getting ready to run. But use this as a prospecting tool big time. Identify before you go to bed tonight. And this might involve stepping outside of what's been comfortable for you, but identify who are 5 people you want to be in business with. That is one of the coolest things about this industry, is we get to choose. Yeah, every once in a while there gets to be a few problem children on your team. Maybe you wouldn't have picked them, and we work through those relational issues. But for the most part, we get to pick who are people in your life you haven't talked to because you are relying on posting, hoping that they see the little thing about the $5,000 bonus and ask you about it. Who are you not asking? You've got to really want this. And I'm telling you, here's the thing. Getting the money is a big deal, because I'm sure every single one of us on here could list 10 things that we would do if we were all given $5,000. That's a huge thing. But in this industry, there is something else that's even more lucrative than that bonus, and it's that social proof. It's what's going to happen in your business when your friends see that you've really earned it. Because here's the thing, people don't think you actually get those, okay? People don't think that's for real. They think these are things that are dangled out. So that will propel your business for years, saying, oh yeah, early on, I earned a $5,000 bonus. What? That's a lot of money, you guys. We sometimes get so, especially in It Works, we're so spoiled with these massive, $110,000 in bonuses. And those are wonderful stories. And if you've got one of those, you better be shouting it. But we forget that $5,000 is a lot of money. It really, really is. I think back to the times that we were scraping to get by, dirt poor when we were first married, and I couldn't even fathom what $5,000 would have done. Like, it would have done a lot. It would have done a lot for us. So being very intentional and not relying on just posting about it, or I don't know, just, I guess, kicking it up a notch is what I'm saying. Building with a sense of urgency, because something else that a lot of people want to happen for them, but they don't realize that you got to create it, is momentum. And they're like, oh, I just want to be in momentum, or, oh, we used to be in momentum, or, oh, someday we're going to be in momentum. And you know, it's like the whatever equation it is in science, the whole an object in motion stays in motion, or how to get an object in motion. It's got to be acted upon by a force, right? There has to be an inciting something that pushes the object to even get it rolling down the hill, right? You can have a big old boulder at the top of the hill or the top of the mountain. It doesn't do anything if it's just sitting there. Someone's got to run up to it. Maybe it might take 10 people running up to it and shove it, and then it starts rolling. And all of a sudden, as it's going, it's like bouncing, and it's going faster and faster and faster. Or if it's a snowball, it's building and building and building and collecting more and more snow. So momentum is incredible. And even if you're just one person right now, you can have momentum. It doesn't take a big team to do it. Like I said, when I first started, I opened that little distributor box, opened a workbook that was titled Start Now. And I thought, well, I probably should start here. And I made momentum. I picked up the phone. I wrote a list. I said, I'm calling people. I was like choking on puke. I was so scared, you guys. Okay. I might be extroverted, like with my friends and social with my friends, but the thought of like asking people to host a party or asking, oh gosh, it gives me such anxiety. I'm a different person than I was then, but I did it because I wanted that momentum. So really taking ownership of this bonus. Number one, using it as a tool to earn it yourself if you haven't yet hit Emerald. But if you have, that's okay. Even if you've hit Emerald and you're actually maintaining executive or distributor right now and you're not eligible for the bonus, use it as a prospecting tool. Who do you know that wants to run for a $5,000 bonus? Okay, get yourself to Diamond here pretty quick and you'll get some check matching on that. You'll get the 20% check match if you help a couple people do it. So maybe you can't get it, but go get a few people to go get it and you can get some matching on it. Okay, so that adds up too. So being very specific about your day. I also want to mention, while I am thinking about it, if any of you haven't seen yet, did you see that your field team, that we have started some groups again for y'all, some coaching groups? Okay, so we have 2 of them this time, and they're going to last. Those last ones were temporary to test a few things out. So if you haven't seen it yet, it's on my page somewhere. There's screenshots. I'm not able to message everybody that reaches out the link, so you'll have to kind of go hunt for them. Or Victoria, you can reach out and I can send you the screenshot and you can help get them in if they're not. But there's one for people who've never been Emerald. So if you're a distributor, an executive, or a Ruby lifetime rank, you get into that one. And if you're Emerald, Diamond, or Double, you hop into the other one. And your field team, we're going to be doing some coaching and some lives and some tasks and some things. And you obviously have a great upline. Your upline is going to be the one that's going to really be coaching you, supporting you, and holding you accountable. But there are just times we need to hear from somebody else. And we need you to know that corporate's got your back, and we're doing anything and everything that we can to help you run for those bonuses. And so we got a lot of positive feedback at conference from people that would come up to us and say, oh my gosh, I'm loving that group. So that is why we are keeping those going, that support going for you. So that's some of what I would encourage you is really ask yourself, how bad do you want this? And are you willing to do what it takes? Because I really do believe it's doable to go Emerald, whether it's Emerald by the end of the month, if you've been in for a while, or Emerald in the next couple months.
Yes, I absolutely agree with everything you just said. That is so awesome. So I'm going to go back to something you did say, talking about just your daily activities and being super intentional to getting to where you want to go. So what are I know a lot of people say they have a 6 list, like your top 6 income producing activities. So now is like a really good time for people to get into that momentum and get those things written down or whatever they need to do to get those 6 things done daily. What are your top, maybe 5 to 6 things that you do you are doing for your business daily?
Yep, that's great. Everything revolves around just a handful of things. Mm-hmm. Creating a list. Sometimes you hear us call that blitzing, but really what blitzing does is adds to your list. So if I was building, and when I was building, every day I would find ways to add to my list, whether that's joining a new play group, going to a different Starbucks. If any of you are stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home whatever, it may mean, having your husband watch your little one for a little bit and you actually go work at a Starbucks. Like I've found ways to get out. You have to remember I built before there was social media. So all my ways of building my list involved people, face-to-face, blitzing, online blitzing, whatever that looks like for you, creating the list. And you've got to add to it all the time because when the list is gone, there's no business. So that's fundamental, okay? The second step is contacting the people, reaching out. And that's not spamming them. And that wasn't me telling them the whole story, like, oh my gosh, you've got to check this out. It was making the initial contact. And when I'm contacting them, I call it contacting and inviting. I'm contacting them and asking them if they'd be open to taking a look. Hey, did you see my post about a $5,000 bonus? I'd love to know if you'd be interested in just chatting about what I do sometime. Or, hey, did you see my post about, such and such? I'd love to know, it's making the contact to get them to look at more. Some of you, all of you, I'm going to encourage you to start getting to One Team, One Missions or hosting them. So part of that contact and invite is you're contacting and saying, hey, I don't know if you've been seeing what I'm up to, but I'm going to this thing and we're going to sample some products and I'd love to have you as my guest. Can I pick you up? So that's the contact. So every day I would be focusing on who can I contact today and make the ask. Okay. Then telling the story. That's basically throwing a fit, throwing a party, telling the it works story, flipping those pages, going through the timeline, doing it online parties, in person, meeting with someone for coffee. That's the part where I'm actually talking to the person. That's getting them on the phone. That's the next step because very few people are signing up from just one message. Hey, do you want to buy greens? Like usually there's some sort of exchange of conversation telling them a little bit. So then it was focusing on, okay, I've got a list and I'm contacting people, but I'm never actually getting people to look and actually come to an event with me or check it out. So that might mean you've got to throw an event at your house, or have a friend host for you. That's a critical piece of it is telling the story. And the reason I say that is because I will tell you, I've only met 2 people in this company in the last year who've told me they were looking for It Works. Every other person of the thousands of people I've spoken to said I wasn't interested, I wasn't looking, but in their own words, they say, but I went to an event or I was willing to listen after the 4th time they asked me. And once I kind of checked it out, I liked it. So we have to get them to the point where they're willing to look at it. So that was another thing. So I created the list and kept adding to it. contacted people to get them to come to something with me or meet me for coffee or have a phone call with me. Then I actually did the event or did the call or did the appointment. And then there's the follow-up piece. And you've heard it said, the fortune's in the follow-up. Okay, there are so many people out there. And that was the part I probably stressed out the most about and didn't love, because I didn't want to feel pushy. It's like, well, they'll call me if they're interested. How could they not be interested? You know, the follow-up was tricky, but that was so important, just touching back base. And, hey, I just wanted to catch up with you again. I know you couldn't make it last time. Just kind of keeping the relationship going was a huge part. And then the fifth thing was everything related to my team. So if any of you have a team, it was making sure I was helping them grow their list, helping them learn how to contact, helping them tell the story. You know, and by that I mean, do they have a friend that would talk to me on a 3-way call? You know, do they have a friend they want to bring to my house? I'll throw the event, or I'll do a Zoom party. Do you guys hear people talking about doing parties on Zoom? Get everybody to download the app, hop on your phone. We're doing an event tonight. Get your guests on there. So pouring into my team and the self-development was the other piece of it. But at the end of the day, you guys, think of it like this. We can overcomplicate this business sometimes because I need to post and I need to add and I need to like and I need to engage. And there's a lot of different things that come into play. But at the end of the day, what does an ambassador have? What does a triple have? They have a network of consumers that are using our products. It's a network of people that just take greens and shake and thermal fight and now some of our keto products, and it's just a big network. It might be doing $50,000 a month consuming. It might be $500,000 a month consuming, but they've created a network of people who are using the products. And obviously some people in those networks are sharing the products. Okay, so more is getting consumed when you get those distributors. That's why people say, well, do I have to get distributors? Well, no, you don't have to. You could create $250,000 a month in residual sales on your own, I suppose, but the real money is in that duplication. But I want you to remember that, because all of your daily 6 things should be focused on, how do I create a network of consumers? I talk to people about the products. I share the business. I try to see if it's a good fit for people to go share it on their own and create their own network of consumers, which makes mine bigger. And I think sometimes that's what we've got to remember, is just breaking it down to the most simple form. It's just a network of people using products. And not everybody needs to use your product. You know, it hurts sometimes when they say no. But here's the thing. Nike is doing just fine. And I don't think all of you own Nikes. Okay, maybe you like Asics. Maybe you like Adidas, right? And they're doing just fine. Okay, not every one of you wears MAC makeup and they're doing okay. Not all of you guys, shop at Target. Well, you do. I mean, who doesn't shop at Target for real? But, I'm just saying, we need to remember that too, that you still can build a massive network of your own consumers, even if some people don't want greens. We know they should be on greens and they're going to feel great. It's okay. It's okay if they don't. There's plenty of people that are going to want it and they're going to want to be in your network. So keep it basic and keep it specific. But remember, me organizing, these books back here and putting stuff up on the walls, you got to do a little bit of that stuff sometimes. But my green comes out and I can get real distracted with organizing and thinking about what I would be doing if I was working rather than just doing it and overthinking it. So I love that book, that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the 5-second rule, where it's like, there's no time for overthinking it. The second we shut this Zoom down, everybody needs to message 5 people and say, oh my gosh, I have the most exciting thing I need to talk to you about. What time can I call you tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, just something like, don't overthink it. Send something out and don't stress, because otherwise you're going to next month, your month away. Mm-hmm. It's going to be March 1st and I'll go, what happened to February? And then you're going to next month that away, and then it's going to be April, and before you know it, will be a green carpet, and you'll be wondering what happened.
Yeah, no, I love that. Before we go, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat. But I want you to go over really quick, because we have something else that's really exciting for all our diamonds and above and emeralds that will be going diamond, our check matching, which I'm really excited about, that the company decided to do this. I was so mind blown when I was standing there. I was like, wait, is this a joke? Like what? So talking to the emeralds that are going diamond and diamonds and above, what do you have to say to them about helping others to go emerald and to get all this check matching?
Yeah, I love check matching. And my last company, was part of our compensation plan. We didn't have cabs. We didn't have the 80, 80, 80. But one of the things that we had was check matching. So I love it because I knew, okay, if I help so-and-so earn $1,000 paycheck, okay, so say you're a diamond and you help one of your newbies earn $1,000 paycheck, doesn't count fast starts, but all their other money, I knew, okay, well, that's $200 because you'd be matched 20% of it. So go help 5 people earn $1,000 paycheck. Each of them go earn 1,000 and you earn 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. Yep. I love it because as a teacher and as someone who was not a mass enroller, okay, you didn't really have mass enrollers before social media. It was pretty rare in real life. Not that social media is not real life, but you know what I mean. I love it. It's got some great things. But it was very rare for someone to actually enroll more than a couple distributors a month. So as a teacher who really believes a huge part of this thing that we need to be doing is duplicating and developing people, I would love it. I'd love to enroll you and say, okay, Victoria, are you ready to run? And we go run and I help you get your team in place. You get your fast starts. But as I start helping you get your customers and promoting, and I'm going to help you get that Emerald bonus. Mm-hmm. Because I'm going to make 20% of it at each month as I'm getting that check matching on it until the check match runs out. It doesn't end up being for the full life of the bonus, but it's for a while. Okay. It's for a while and that's pretty incredible. So if you're a diamond or you're a double, keep that rank and go past it and increase your check matching. So it might look like a little bit on some of those smaller checks, but a little bit a whole lot of times really adds up. And it's basically just a way to reward you for helping people. You get rewarded for helping your new people go earn money.
Yes.
And that's what you should be doing anyway. So we're going to reward that right behavior with money.
For 6 months, which is so crazy. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
For it. All right. Well,
super incredible.
Yes. Again, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat. But we'll end with this. I know it's like such a broad question. I kind of hate it. I need to reword it, but what is your top call to action tip for everyone on the Zoom right now to go out and do?
My biggest thing would probably be some of the stuff that I've talked about, but don't wait. Mm-hmm. Don't wait to contact, and you need to make sure you reach out to your upline. If you get off of this Zoom and you're like, I still don't know what to do, I don't even know who to talk to, because that means you need some help with your list right away. You need to figure out how to add to your list. Don't scroll past people because you're scared to talk to them. Okay? Don't prejudge. Find a teacher. Everybody probably knows a teacher. Go find a teacher that you can talk to and say, I want you to check this out. I want you to check out what I'm doing. But not waiting. Not waiting is going to be a really big key with this bonus. Get those names written down on paper and hold yourself accountable for doing it. Okay? Hold yourself accountable to not wait to make some of those contacts, and don't be afraid to reach up to your upline and ask for help. Some of you, maybe don't even know how to go Emerald or what that looks like. And remember, y'all got to get the new customers too if you're going Emerald, so you're focusing on customers as well. And that's the beauty of reaching out and asking them to take a look. Because if they say no to the business, hey, I understand it's not a fit right now, but I'd still love to give you my discount and have you try products for a few months and see if you love them as much as I do. Okay, so don't forget that customer piece, but really just believing that you can do it and knowing that the time is now, and, understanding how huge this bonus could be, would be a really good place to start. Does anyone have names written down right now? Do you have some people how many of you have contacted anyone yet?
A lot of people have been already signing distributors.
Good. See, you're already running with it, and that's what you got to do. And, make sure you're giving them that sense of urgency right away too. So make sure if you've already gotten newbies in, make sure they know what to do. Don't let them right now go watch everything in the training academy. It's a great training academy, but we don't have time for that right now. Make sure you're like zoning in on what do your newbies need to know right now. Teach them the words to say and say, okay, think of the first 5 people. Who's your dream team? Who do you want to work with? Here's how you go ask them. Help them talk to them. If you know you're pretty good at getting distributors in because you kind of know how to overcome objections, okay, you need to help them talk to those people. Okay, help them with what they're doing. And I know y'all are probably doing a lot of that stuff, but don't assume that they know. We know what we know, which is, oh my gosh, this is such a big deal. But some of these people that have said yes to you maybe don't get that this could take a little bit. You know, we've got to kind of get the wheels in motion. So make sure you're helping those newbies get activated right away. Give them those tasks, you know, in your first, you know, within 24 hours. Why don't you go get 4 customers? Boom, good, got that done. Okay, let's go do this. You know, kind of juggling your own personal people that you're reaching out to, but helping those newbies get activated. If you've gotten a couple new distributors in, let's help them get their first 2 in tomorrow. It doesn't need to take 2 weeks. Like, they can sign up their friends tomorrow. It's $99. And I know for people that's a lot of money because it has been for us before too. But when you show them that what if I'm right and what if $99 could change your life for the rest of your life, would it be worth it? Overcome some of those objections. Help the newbies get their newbies people, and you're going to have chains and chains of people, and your network's going to expand pretty quickly.
Yes, and that's when you keep promoting and keep helping more and more lives and everything else. So just one question I see here, and we will let you go. The biggest thing most struggle with is what to say when messaging. Could you repeat your initial ask message?
Well, I don't send a ton of messages. I definitely am a huge fan of voice messages. Your upline's probably going to be the best at giving you specifics, but what I used to ask was, hey, I don't know if you know or not, but I've got an incredible business from home that's providing for my family, or maybe you're not making quite, you know, what you want to make yet. It's, hey, I don't know if you know or not, but I just started with a new company and I'd really love to show you what I'm doing. I don't know if it's going to be a fit for you or not, but I'm super excited and would love to have you check it out. You know, some version of that, because I want them to see the excitement, but you have to remember, what's the other person thinking? They're scared. They're scared they're going to get roped into something, right? So that's why I take the pressure off. Hey, I want to just show you what I'm up to and what I'm so excited about. You know, would you be open to just checking it out? And if you're interested, great. And if not, no big deal. But I'd love to chat with you. When do you have 10 minutes?
Yes.
And I always ask that. I would say, what, are you free tomorrow morning, or would it work best to call you in the afternoon? I'm a phone person. Obviously, you guys can choose to voice message back and forth and things like that. But I do like when I hear people say, are you open? Instead of, are you interested in making extra money? I love it when they say, are you open to the idea of making some extra money from your phone? Because it's easier to say, no, I'm not interested, versus, no, I'm not open. I'm not open-minded. I'm actually pretty closed-minded. You know, I really just like close my mind to anything awesome. And I just don't know. I don't like new awesome things. But it's kind of, no, I'm not interested. No, thanks. I'm too busy. So some of those types of things, but just kind of knowing the mindset is, get them to look at it. Seriously, it doesn't hurt anybody. It's not going to hurt anybody to talk to you on the phone for 15 minutes or voice message back and forth, or to take a look at it. And I used to say to my friends, I mean, with my friends, I could be more direct. And I'd say, hey, I want you to check out what I'm doing. You can say no when we're done, but I'm not going to let you say no to me until you know what you're saying no to. You can say no later, but you can't tell me no before you've even given me 15 minutes to understand what I'm so excited about. Just do me a favor and check it out. And they all signed up, you know, not all of them, but for the most part, they would look at it. But they were saying no because they didn't know. Exactly. And so getting them to agree to that. So don't overthink it too much. Think of how you would talk to people, but don't write 5 paragraphs. Don't try to sell them on it before you've at least gotten them to say, okay, I'll take a look at it. You know, I'll check it out. I'm open to it. How does this bonus work? You know, things like that.
That's awesome. And like you said, language is everything. So saying open versus interested. Awesome. And I also definitely agree with voice messaging or getting people on the phone, because a lot of times we just want to hide behind our phone. Like we are just like, no, we are going to text. They aren't going to hear my voice. But when people, I know it's like, I read a study somewhere, like when people hear your voice and they hear your excitement, you know, that really, it rubs off on them, and they hear that, they feel it, and they know you're part of a good thing when they can hear your excitement. And I know if you were at conference, they were on one of the panels, they were playing around saying, you don't talk like, well, we have this $5,000 bonus. Like, you don't want to talk like that. You'd be like, dude, guess what we have? We have this crazy, amazing bonus, and I want to share this opportunity with you, and, you know, so many other exciting things. So, yes, thank you so much, Aspen, for pouring into us tonight and giving us some tips and tricks and advice. So thank you so much.
Welcome, guys. All right, keep in touch. Keep following us on Facebook and hop into those groups if you haven't already, okay?
Yes, we definitely will.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right, thank you.